I've been thinking about resiliency for a long time. My history is I've served 10 years on the Anaheim City Council. I was termed out about 8 years ago. I thought I was done, but this idea, when I was on the council, we kept on looking at, I felt kept on dealing with the symptoms of all the problems, and kind of this idea of a game whack-a-mole where you're hit one, another one pops up, and the same issues over and over again. And I felt there's a need to a holistic approach of dealing with the problems in our city and how to deal with them. And actually the idea came from a holistic doctor friend of mine about treating the body as a whole, having the body heal itself, having our city heal itself, and that has to do with setting a core value of kindness. Kindness and freedom are the two that I campaigned on. Kindness means not just being nice, but doing something for someone else. And that as a culture of the city, that part of our ethos in Anaheim, I believe create a kind city, but a resilient city. In Southern California, we're challenged in that it's the way that the houses are designed and things like that, but people are generally pretty private, and we're lacking in that community of people coming together. I have a program in Anaheim called Hi Neighbor, which is just that, getting neighbors to know one another. So one, that they can protect their neighborhood from kind of a community policing concept. Also help their neighbors if they see a kid going in a wrong direction, maybe about ready to join a gang, maybe somebody could intervene where maybe the parents couldn't. Second is an emergency response. You have to know that 4 doors down is an 80-year-old widow whose roof collapsed in an earthquake. It's up to the neighbors to help her because that will overwhelm our traditional first responders. So the first responders need to be neighbors and family members and things like that. Neighbors need to get together for emergency preparedness. Do we have the generators? Do we have enough food and water for extended period of time? You don't want to do that yourself and then have your neighbor knock on your door out of water, out of food. What are you going to do? So it's important that everybody in a neighborhood come together and be prepared together. Finally, this idea of resiliency, I mean, it's important for when bad things happen, but it's also important for good things. People are just happier when they're in a community that they know that their neighbors care for them and they care for their neighbors. That just in a sense of being a healthy community, resiliency is important. Resiliency, I think, being resilient is in healthy community is the same thing, really. I feel very good that this issue is being addressed on a national level. It is, I talked about a kind of holistic way of approaching things. This is a holistic way of approaching this problem rather than dealing with the symptoms over and over again. Dealing with the underlying resiliency of a community before a disaster happens, before something bad happens, is a way to go about it. It's just very good to see that the folks are very, very smart people are looking at this issue, and I look forward to getting guidance as Mayor of Anaheim from some of the ideas that come out of this conference.